Hi, I'm Sophie,
Hi, I'm Lucy.
and today we're going to talk about going to university.
Am I? I don't know yet.
When you were going to university, how did you sort of decide what course you wanted to study?
So I think kind of the first place that anyone can start really is like the resources you've got at either school or college. So there's probably a careers advisor who's there, and it's literally their job to be able to tell you like what would be a good choice, might be some things that you want to consider, and teachers that you get on with as well. They'll probably like know your strengths and your weaknesses. It's also probably worth having a chat with any slightly older friends that you've got. If you've got any older brothers or sisters who've already been to uni and can kind of share their experiences with you. I think the more you kind of open up the conversation with people that you know, the more you'll learn about what to expect and what might be a good choice for you. For me, it's a bit of a tricky one because I went the first time, thought I'd made the right decision, and then ended up realising that I'd kind of chosen the wrong topic and ended up dropping out and starting all over again. I think obviously the most important thing is that it's a subject that you enjoy, because you're going to spend the next like 3 or 4 years of your life studying this stuff, so it needs to be something that you look forward to sitting and reading about, something that you're passionate about. I think the fact that I kind of like went down one path and then realised I've made the wrong decision kind of goes to show that you're probably feeling a lot of pressure to make the right decision, but it's really not the end of the world, and the sooner you kind of like be honest about it and maybe open up the conversation with a parent or a friend or a tutor or something like that, the sooner you'll be able to get it all sorted and head off on the right track.
So going to uni for a lot of people can mean leaving home for the first time. Was that the case for you?
Like, I'm not ashamed to say that I really struggled with it, and I was very, very homesick. I think that's more common than people want to admit. I feel like people go off to uni, put pressure on themselves to make it the best time of their entire lives, and then actually a lot of the time you are sort of sat in your room a little bit thinking, oh my God, I miss my mum, basically.
There's lots of opportunities to make friends when you get to uni, and a lot of universities organise things in Freshers' Week.
If you kind of get a couple of months down the line and you still feel like you haven't really found like your people, as long as you're sort of open to chatting to everybody and you're friendly and you are trying to make a bit of an effort to meet new people and getting involved with all the stuff that is going on, friendship will come naturally, and it's not something you need to force or worry about or anything like that.
So if you had sort of times when you were feeling a bit homesick, was there anything that you did to sort of make yourself feel a bit better?
Yeah, I think the bedroom that you have if you're staying in university halls, I think it's really good to make that kind of like a little safe space for yourself. I think the more sort of comfy and cozy you make that, you'll feel a lot more comfortable to start with. And then in terms of missing people, if you can kind of put a little bit of time aside to Skype your mum like once a week, call up your best friend and have a chat. Like group chats are always great because you can update each other for what's going on. And I think it's just important to still make time for the people that you care about.
And of course, lots of people stay at home when they go to uni. Would you have any advice for someone in that situation?
I think it's important to remember that this is still a huge new adventure for you as well. And rather than sort of feeling as though you're missing out or feeling the FOMO or whatever, you've just got to really kind of throw yourself into it and remember that you're still a big part of that university. You might not be living on the campus, but you're still very much a student there, and you've got all the same opportunities that everybody else has. So when there's events on or nights out or that kind of thing, really make the effort to push yourself to go to them and get involved with as many of the activities, societies, clubs, all that kind of stuff. Just get involved as much as you possibly can, and you'll still find those opportunities to meet new people as well.
So obviously, as well as all the fun of going to uni, there's also the actual work.
I remember finding it was a bit of a shock to the system, to say the least. I was very used to people giving me very strict deadlines and reminding me every day. And when you go to uni, that isn't there anymore. Like, the tutors are there to support you, and if you go to them, they will help you. But it's not their problem if you don't hand an essay in and you end up getting into a mess with everything. I think the trick to it is just really getting into the habit of being organised. So I think the more you stay on top of things, the easier you will find it. So you've just got to be a little bit more disciplined than you're used to, I think.
So some people can feel there's maybe pressures to do a lot of drinking when they go to uni, or to sort of start relationships, and might not have really done that before.
Before you head off to university and you're actually there, you kind of have this idea of it being like one big skins party almost, with drugs flying around everywhere and naked people all over the place and everybody having sex with everybody that they encounter. I would just like to confirm that it is not like that. And the people who are having a lot of sex, you don't have to be a part of that if you don't want to. But obviously, if you are gonna start having more sex than you've had before and that kind of thing, just make sure that you're safe. Basically, that's like the priority. Make sure you're using some protection and stuff like that. If you do feel a pressure to kind of start doing all that kind of stuff and dabbling in things that you've never dabbled with before, there's a lot of kind of guidance and advice sources that you can use at university. There's counsellors, people that you can talk to confidentially, and you can really kind of open up to them and they'll be able to give you some good advice.
Well, thanks so much for coming, Lucy. It's been really good to chat.
No worries, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.